a mouse. I'm a little tiny mouse. I have a little tiny dick, tight little mouse butthole. I have sex with other mice. One time I had a mouse orgy in my mouse hole in the wall. One time I got crazy horny. I had sex with a ladybug. And then I got crabs. And the thing when the mouse gets crabs, the crabs are fucking bigger than your dick.
Woo! It's showtime!
Also, you can't fit a gerbil in your ass.
World record.
World record.
World record.
World record! World record!
All right. Say your joke again, Henry.
I said you can't put a gerbil in your ass if you are a gerbil.
Or a mouse.
Or a mouse, yeah, but I just switched it for music purposes.
All right, here we are. We're getting started. Can everybody hear us okay?
Hello.
Check
hello,
1,
hello.
2, 2.
Henry sounds louder. Right?
Check.
Well,
Check.
yeah, I was doing it louder.
You're projecting! Now I'm blown out, right?
Hello.
Hello?
I think that's
Hello?
fine. Wait, can we hear Henry? Can we start the pod off with the Henry story?
Testing, 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Let's call a place and just keep saying hello to them.
Okay.
Okay? And then Henry can tell his story.
Yes.
And this is the one about when you went to Tijuana and that girl, you think that you had sex with an underage girl.
No.
That's Bobby Lee.
Oh.
Yeah, he got in trouble. Aaron probably knows the scoop on that.
What? He got in trouble for having sex with an underage girl?
No, he told a story on, this is just me, this is what I've gotten from the hate YouTube channels that I watch about
It's
Brendan
you
Shaw.
projecting.
Yeah, it's me trying to cause a smoke screen. It's like when a bad guy in a movie throws a smoke bomb and disappears.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do, just to redirect it. No, apparently he told a story, like it's like a, an edgy comedy story. I don't have anything against Bobby Lee either, but this is like he has like a crazy girlfriend or wife or something, and then they lost their advertising. I guess they had like a multi-billion-dollar advertising deal.
Oh, this is recent?
On their podcast, like we do.
Yeah, we have that.
Yeah, we have
What?
that.
Yeah, multi-billion-dollar advertisements.
That much.
Nobody listens to this, but everybody loves to hear Bobby Lee and his insane girlfriend. But I guess he told this story on multiple podcasts where he went to Tijuana and had sex with a prostitute, right? Is that it, Aaron?
Yeah, that is how
And
the
he
story
thinks
goes.
she was like, in hindsight or that, whatever, he said she was like, looked like Natalie Portman in that movie where she's like 10, the professional or whatever. Right, do I have that right? Is that pretty much how it goes?
Yeah, and she cried the whole time.
Oh,
But that's just the joke. It's a joke?
Yeah, it's just a made-up story.
it's made up?
Yeah.
But doesn't he tell it like it happened?
That's Bobby, yeah.
That's Bobby, baby. He's
Listen to Aaron,
That's
protecting
Bobby,
a pedo. Listen to Aaron right there.
He's a pedo apologist.
A pet apologist. An apetologist. Mm-hmm. All right, sorry.
Yeah, no, I would think I've.
Why would you-
Even though I grew up here,
Yeah.
I never really was one of those guys that went to Mexico very often. I think I went once with my parents, and we did get an underage hooker, but no. No,
They
but-
took you to
Wow,
your
that's
first
weird.
goat show.
We're
down
using
there.
a new microphone here, Henry. It's actually
Did it
hooked
not-
it's hooked up to a lie detector. We forgot to tell you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
And it didn't go off. So that means I must have really done it. Did you do one and I can't hear it?
Oh, you got
Oh, you need your headphones on.
Oh, gee.
That's what's messing. What, you don't like headphones?
Well, I'm having a good hair day, and I didn't want to. Oh, so I wasn't in on the lie
All right,
detector
say it again.
joke.
Say it again.
Well, it's not going to make any
Never been
sense.
to Mexico.
Never been to Mexico. I did go once with my parents, and
Well, no, whatever. Go ahead.
Okay, so but what I was going to say is I would imagine that in Mexico, I don't know if this is true or not, but I would think they have less regulation on that industry than they do here.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the whole point?
You go to Mexico to get like cheap anything. really.
Well, yeah.
Surgery.
But I mean, I would,
Have you guys gone a lot?
Not ever really.
Yeah.
I mean, when I
it's
lived
just
in
never been really appealing to me.
when I lived in Texas, I drove to Nuevo Laredo, which is like right across the border from. You basically have to drive. Well, it's Laredo, Texas, and then Nuevo Laredo is right across the border. I think it's somewhere near El Paso. I don't know, somewhere. And I went there for like a night with a girlfriend. Oh, Amanda, earmuffs.
I already heard it. I remember being in El
But
Paso.
I never did any of that like Tijuana shit.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever been to Tijuana.
No.
Kind of scared me. Something about it's like, I heard that they did this thing called AIDS tag, like in clubs where they'd take like a needle that's has AIDS on it, and then someone would go around and like stabbing people
Yeah, that happens.
at a club in Tijuana.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, it's just like, what do they get out of that?
I don't know. He gave a bunch of people AIDS. That was enough for me to say. I don't
then
know.
There were a lot in the beginning of AIDS, though. I mean, that could be true. Who knows? But I doubt it. But there were a lot of those urban myths going around. Like, remember the "Welcome to the Wonderful World"?
Yeah,
of AIDS? And
So dumb.
What, that you could get it like
No,
that, or
it was
people-
like somebody was using. I called a friend because there was a lot of paranoia back then.
Yeah.
I remember calling my buddy and going because I met a really nice girl and we started dating. And I told my friend we hadn't talked in a couple weeks, and he goes, "What's going on?" I go, "Hey man, I got a girlfriend now." And he goes, "Oh man, I hope it's not one of those girls that has AIDS and now she's trying to get back at every male by giving them all AIDS." And I was like, "Where did that come from? What the fuck?" And he's like, no, I'm sure in your case it's fine. I just, I was reading about some girl that's going around doing that. And I'm like, well, now I got to read that article and see if that's her. But
Yeah, that was, that's the story is some guy has like a one night stand and then like wakes up and the girl's gone, but written on his mirror in lipstick says, "Welcome to the wonderful world of AIDS."
Oh.
But that's just, I feel like that's also just kind of propaganda too, where it's just like, let's just get everybody
Like freaked out,
Yeah,
or-
yeah.
keep people from having sex.
I don't know. I mean,
it's
that did happen to me once, but I was like, fuck that.
What do you mean?
I woke up and a girl had written.
Have you ever been tested?
Oh no, she was like, oh no, well she wrote.
What
That
she
makes
write?
sense now.
So she did have
wonderful. Welcome to the wonderful world of being gay. And now that I think about it, she did have a dick.
Oh, well, there you go.
'Cause I was
That's
sucking on her
probably what
dick
it
all
was.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the wonderful world of being gay.
Welcome to the wonderful world of prostitutes. And then it says, "I'm actually a prostitute, but you didn't pay for it, but you still had sex with a prostitute." Like, there's too much stuff you have to write.
It's
They run out of
like,
lipstick.
written in two different
She
color
ran
lipsticks.
out of lipstick. And you go into the bathroom and then there's a whole other message. What I'm saying is that even though you didn't pay for it, I'm a prostitute, so you technically had sex with a prostitute, if you care.
Yeah.
It's like all over the shower tile.
Should have
Yeah.
used the Jimmy hat. That's what I call rubbers.
Oh, Jimmy hats.
Yeah.
There's a bar in Pasadena, which is great, and I meet my buddies there all the time. It's called the Colorado Bar.
Okay.
And if you go in the back, they've got pool and stuff. You walk in and it's like it's 1985 and there's nothing you can see that's different. Maybe the flat screen TVs, but other than that, it's just amazing. But yeah, they'll be playing like Van Halen on the old school jukebox.
Yeah.
You go back into the bathroom and they've got those old school vending machines
yeah.
with the condoms.
Yeah. French ticklers in there.
Yeah, and it's like, who's ever got quarters anymore?
Yeah.
So I went to the bar, got quarters, went in, and it wasn't the condom that I got something called the Love Pack or something like that. It has a couple of surprise things in there,
I feel like I've done the same
but
thing.
it didn't fucking give it to me. And I went back to the bartender and I was like, "Hey man, I think you got to give me back my money on that thing." And the guy's like, "That? It's a joke. We're not doing that for real." And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I knew that, but Anyway.
Why would it take your money though? I mean,
Just,
I bet that
it was
joke
an old
gets them-
machine. Yeah.
That joke probably
nothing
garners
in
them like
there.
$25 a night.
Yeah.
It's like so many drunk guys like, hey, let's just get one as for kicks. And then they
Yeah,
go
I
up and
know.
the bartender shames them into not asking for a refund. It's like, what are you guys, stupid? It's an obvious joke. Oh, yeah, right. Happens 100
Yeah,
times
yeah.
a day.
Nobody wants to
And
complain
he's like
about it.
$150 a day. He just takes that as a tip.
Well, do you know that in a lot of jukeboxes nowadays, it's like touch tones or something, and you can get the app on your phone, and you're literally playing any song on the jukebox that you want
From your phone.
from your phone
In a bar.
Yeah, but here it gets better. If you feel like if paying more, you can outbid everybody else, and you can actually override other people's choices and start playing your music. And you can even do it for a bar that's across the street that you're not even in.
Oh, really?
So it's like, can you imagine that? Like 25 years ago when we're fucking with our friends or whatever, like you could just play Journey's Faithfully just over and over and over again,
Yeah.
30 times.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they'd turn it off
You
at
could
some
do
point.
that. I did one time in Philadelphia when I was like, I don't know, probably like 19. I was on South Street or someplace in South Philly. One of my friends, we went into like our friends, we bumped into our friends at a pizza place. I don't know if we were supposed to meet them there. Or, I
Yeah.
feel like we were just walking by and we're like, hey, that's our friends. And there was a jukebox in there and there wasn't any music playing. And so we're like talking to our friends and I just kind of go over to the jukebox and I see they have New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough. And I put like $5 in and played it like 10 times or more, whatever $5, like it was like 50 cents.
Yeah.
So, I guess 10 times. And then it started playing and they were like, fuck, who played this shit? And then we keep talking to them and it comes on again. And they were just like, what the fuck? And we were just like, seeing, they're like, you fucking did that. But I don't know. I wasn't around to see like, if somebody went over and unplugged it at one point. They probably did. I mean, in Philadelphia, they're not gonna
stand for that.
Well, that's
They're
like-
gonna punch the jukebox and break it.
Wait, did you just call it a Jew-box? Because that's anti.
I mean, if you think it is sort of, if you think about it.
What is it? What would a Jew-box be?
Well, there's
I don't
the
wanna
Jew's
talk-
harp.
Yeah. I guess it's the box where you
Probably
put
similar.
your Jew. But we
What were
did
you
a
saying?
similar thing when they did. They used to do that comedy show at that Thai food place, and then they would do karaoke
Oh,
afterwards on Vermont.
oh
there.
God, yeah. We
you
just
remember-
kept doing the Titanic song over and over and over again as karaoke. Wasn't there some cowboy guy
There's
in
a
there
guy
that
who wanted to kill us.
Yeah. He
was
hated that song.
Well, yeah, that's what he hated the song.
I was going to put it up with it one time, maybe twice, but 18 times, no.
It was you and me and
Yeah, we kept
Patrick
tipping the
Key.
guy, so we'd go up there,
Yeah.
and then it'd be like, all right, now we're going to do a totally different song now. Here it goes. And then you hear that. Well, I remember being in Newport, Kentucky, in between gigs, and
Oh, this is
my
Henry
buddy,
Phillips, everyone. Did I?
Oh, hey,
introduce
how's it
him?
going? What's up, everybody? My buddy and I went into a strip joint in the daytime, and it was one of those things where you always feel guilty if you're not like in front of the little tub area where they dance. So I was just hanging out with him, having a beer or whatever
Tub
in the
area?
back. Well, the area where they dance, it's like there's a railing around it, and then there's like
Is that called a tub? Is that? I don't know the lingo.
well, this was a hot tub that they were all dancing in. No, I don't know what you call that.
It's okay if you know
It's
the
not a
lingo.
platform because it's
Like a
sunken
stage,
in.
right? Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I don't know. Why did I
That's
say
fine.
tub? That
It's
doesn't-
okay.
Sometimes I just
Like you're a strip club guy.
yeah, I say the wrong words. But so anyway, we're having a beer, but their way of still getting tipped, even if you're not sitting there, putting the dollar bills out or whatever. This is dollar bills. This is back in the mid '90s or something. So they go up to you and they say, "Hey, we have to pay for our own songs on the jukebox. Can you pay for my my jukebox song. So that's sort of the workaround.
Okay.
And I don't know that they actually have to. That would be I think
yeah.
that would be a violation of some kind of work code.
So you don't go over.
yeah.
You just give them the money. You don't go over to the jukebox and say which
No,
ones do you
give
want?
them the money. Oh no. You actually do go to the jukebox, and it was one of those jukeboxes that was like connected to the satellite, so you can just pick any song ever.
Right.
And so my buddy and I were having fun, and this is harmless fun. Nobody was really cared that much one way or the other, but we were just trying to come up with the worst songs to strip to ever.
Cats in the Cradle.
And Cats in the Cradle, but there was there were some really good ones. God, it's been so many years.
Theme to Schindler's List.
The what was it? Well, the good one is that Phil Collins song. I can't dance, I can't sing, or whatever. Like that one, and then so you could just be creative and just be like, what's a real shitty song?
Yeah.
So if I had more
Slayer's
examples,
Angel of
it'd be a
Death.
better story. I think I did have examples back at that time.
Well, that's okay. Just think about it. Come back next week.
The
We'll just make some
theme to
notes.
MASH.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Suicide is painless.
It
is painless. Did you ever hear that with the?
Sorry.
Did you ever hear that with the lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suicide is painless. It brings on many changes.
That's right. Yeah.
One of the important ones being that now you're dead.
Yeah.
And I can take or leave it if I try, or whatever.
Oh wow. Beautiful voice.
Yeah, I was actually the guy who sang that on the thing.
I'm gonna do our idea when.
What are we
first
doing?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Oh, I'm gonna put my son on the phone.
Hello?
Hello. Smart guy there.
Who's that?
Oh,
Who knows? Brendan doesn't tell you who he's calling. And you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it
until
just keeps
they
everyone on
answer
their
the
toes.
phone.
Should I do have a story that
Oh yeah,
that
your
Amanda
story.
reminded me
Yes.
of that I should probably tell before I forget.
Yeah. Let's.
So, years ago, I had a college agent. It was like A&M College or some other agency or whatever. I don't even think they're around anymore. But oh, did I say the name?
I don't know what they're. I don't know.
But anyway, so the headquarters or whatever said, hey, one of our agents wants to go see you. I was opening for Mike Birbiglia in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And they said she wants to meet you. She wants to see the show and then meet you afterward. And I go, okay, that's great. So I did the show, and then afterward we agreed that we were going to meet at the place right next door, which was sort of a family restaurant. It was like TGI Fridays kind of
Okay.
thing. Like you could see a family having dinner, but you could also see a bunch of crazy people doing limbo or whatever.
Yeah.
So I walk in there, and the agent girl is sitting there. Her name's Jennifer or something. I go, hi, how are you doing? And I shake hands. And then she goes, I'm just waiting for my husband to get back. And she's kind of looking generally at the bar area. And she's very professionally dressed and everything like that. And then this guy comes over, and he's carrying like a plate full of shots. And he goes, this is like 3 shots or something. And he goes, fantastic show. Do you want to do a shot with us? We've got Prairie Fire or something like that. And I was like, yeah, why not? I'm a team player. And so I did it, and I drank it, and I'm just like, oh, fuck. What the fuck is that? And it's hot. It's like half Tabasco sauce and half 151. I felt like I was immediately going to barf.
Oh, God.
Anyway, that guy takes off. I thought he was like this lady's husband or
Right.
whatever. But he's gone, and then the husband comes out. He's wearing a suit, and he's coming out from the bathroom, and then he sits down. This is my first time meeting this agent, and they're just like, "Yeah, so we really enjoyed the show. Can you describe to us like what kind of work you're looking for?" And it turns into this really professional meeting, and I'm like, "Guys."
Well, wait, was the lady sitting right there when the guy came over with the shots?
Yeah, I gotta make sure the geography is right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she was there.
Did she take one?
watched. No. She watched me just sit there and do a shot because I thought it was her husband and he wanted to do a shot, and then he takes off. That was just some fucking guy.
Yeah.
And then this other guy comes, and now I'm just like in a business meeting with two suited people, and I just did a shot of Prairie Fire.
Yeah. It's like Tabasco and tequila or some shit.
Yeah, she probably reported back to the headquarters.
Like, yeah,
and she's
no,
like,
this
oh
isn't
yeah,
gonna
he's
happen."
definitely a drunk. Like who does a shot of Prairie Fire right before a job interview, basically? Yeah, and
I mean, and this is, listen, I love your stories, and they wouldn't be what they were if you did these things. But like, if I was in your position, I'd be like, I thought that was your husband. Like,
oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I was like, that's not your husband. Oh yeah, I'm sure I tried to explain my way out of it.
Yeah.
But
it's too late.
And then
You already
she's
did
just
it.
like, no. I don't know who that guy was. It was just a guy who was at the show who's
all
just
laced with like
I know.
PCP.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. But it turned out the agency was bullshit anyway, because I had gotten an email, and now this turns into just a real grievance that I have that's not even funny. But I had gotten an email from one of the colleges, I think in Peoria, Bradley University. I remember the guy was like,
Great
"Hey,
school.
we're big fans, and we'd like to have you come play at the college." So I remember telling that lady, hey, I guess I should hand this to you, right? Normally I would just book it myself, but you're my college agent, so maybe you guys could take it.
Yeah.
And then she goes, yeah. And then I called a couple days later. Did you talk to the guy or whatever? Because for me, it takes 5 minutes. I just email the guy, and then he's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm still talking to him. I talked to him. He's a very nice guy. We're actually going to meet and have lunch in NACA this weekend. So I was thinking we would do the deal there. And I'm like, so you're going to wait until there's 100 other comics sitting around to do the college? Yeah, that sounds great. And so I never heard from that college gig again, ever. It pisses me off.
Yeah, man.
That's the kind of shit that happens in this business. It makes us, people think that we're overreacting and that we're bitter or whatever, but this business will take you down, shove your face in the gutter.
Are you striking? Are you going on strike?
Yeah, Henry's been striking.
Oh,
You've been
for
on the
sure.
picket line.
Well, I'm not going to be doing any acting or writing. I mean, the joke is that I'm not really working anyway. But
I've been striking since 2011.
Yeah.
Finally, everyone else is showing some solidarity.
Yeah, definitely.
I do kind of want to go to their picketing around the Disney studio over there. I kind of want to go see who's there.
Well, yeah. Well,
Someone
I know
famous has gotta be
that.
there.
You mean WGA or
Now
SAG? Both of them, I guess.
Either one, yeah.
Well, we got tons of friends that are doing it. Jesse
I
Joyce.
see the Instagram. I'm not interested in doing any of that shit.
Are you with the WGA?
I'm with both of them.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you're not like
I don't have health insurance with either of them, so I'm like, if I
you
get
have
heat
to make a
stroke, I
certain
can't go to the
amount.
doctor. Yeah. I mean, SAG is much more. You have to you have to earn like half as much as you do for WGA insurance.
Yeah, I would imagine.
But they're both the same. They're all the same, really.
Yeah.
Animation, and I'm in the animation union too. We're not striking.
Wait, what's Teamsters?
That's like your brother, IATSE. It's the like carpenters and.
But there's
they're more.
Teamsters, like,
That's not just the entertainment industry. That's like.
it's
That's
like
all
one
the-
big union is called Teamsters.
Yeah, aren't they like UPS too?
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're
Teamsters
striking.
is,
UPS is striking.
Yeah, no, I think people have had enough. They're just like, these guys make literally $75,000 every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the that's the thing is
not
like,
doing
listen,
shit
I'm not condoning violence, but don't. I guess I'm saying don't just go around killing these
Did you
guys.
see when
That would be
Jane
wrong.
Fonda
That sounds like
was
when my uncle says, and I'm not trying to be racist. It's like literally right before he says something.
Who's
The
your
most
uncle?
racist
Let's
thing in the
call him.
world.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been experimenting with AI lately, I saw.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the technology's not there yet, but it's coming. So we did it. We did a bit on. Well, here I could. Play
I have it here.
Oh, you have it. Yeah. Yeah.
So you do, as everybody knows, you have Henry's Kitchen, which is a popular cooking show.
Yeah.
And you have a couple cookbooks too. So this is like a legitimate thing. You're a comedian by trade, but the cooking bug bit you.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
11 years ago. Well, yeah. No, you're right. You were right. I was wrong. It's 12 years ago. It was 2011. I did the Montreal Comedy Festival. Mm-hmm. Didn't get any bites at all, even though I thought I had good sets, but everybody wanted to see the flashy, whoever it was. I think Russell Brand was the big guy at the time or whatever.
God.
Yeah, and so everybody just sort of ignored.
Is
that the year I was there
whatever.
with you too?
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I don't feel like my sets were bad, but when I got back, there was just nothing. There was just a lot of emptiness and nothing happening. I remember reading an article about one of the shows that I did, and that I thought my set was fine, and it literally named everybody except for me, and I was just like, everybody, of course, was somebody who was sort of a celebrity at the time, too.
Right.
So anyway, yeah, it's the one. Yeah, okay. So I was a little depressed. I was going through a breakup at the time as well. I was also drinking a lot during those days. Still am drinking a lot, but anyway, so I just for fun made a video in my kitchen, and I just like pointed the camera at myself, and I was just like, let's do this. I was kind of trying to make fun of the ones that I actually saw on there.
Oh, I thought they were serious cooking.
No, yeah. But the second one went viral, and then I was just like, wow, I accidentally have like one of those viral. I remember calling you during that time. I was really excited. It hit like a couple 100,000, and I was like, this is nuts.
That was the bean one, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Chili for one.
I remember being at a buddy of mine's dad's funeral, and my phone started buzzing. I was like, hold on, everybody, I'm going to go out here and
You're giving the eulogy.
go out and have a smoke.
Well, folks, today's not really that bad a day.
I thought this was going to suck, but I mean, so
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Yeah, so I just, so that was exciting. So anyway, over the years now I have cookbooks, aprons, soundtrack album by Jose Suicidio, the alter ego, and then all kinds of other stuff. And it's kind of all I do now.
Yeah, so Henry's, I guess the website will be there on, we could show Henry again there. Oh yeah, look, there's the website. What is it?
HenryPhillips.com you can do, or just go to Henlips on YouTube. That'll take you.
So there they are. They're right there.
I still don't see it.
Well, it's gonna happen. This is they'll put stuff in there.
When we were up in San Francisco.
Like right here.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, right around there.
That'll be right there.
So Henlips, HenryPhillips.com, Henlips on YouTube.
You can see it diagonal this way, and then somebody's like, "Fuck! Now I got to do it diagonal."
Now it's oh look, it's covering the whole screen.
Oh wow!
There's so many of
It's
them.
turning into a flower.
Yeah.
But the cooking thing.
What were you saying about San Francisco?
Oh, just we were up there, and when we would drive over the Golden Gate Bridge and go by Sausalito, I'd always think of your song.
Oh yeah,
The Horror of
Sausalito, which I've actually never been to, but I just pictured a place where there's sailors and docks, and it's like an old military port place, like maybe a little like Baltimore or something.
It's like average home price is like $3.5 million.
The Horror of Sausalito. It's just such a great title.
Yeah, it is.
Here, I'll play the AI video. You guys won't be able to see it, but the viewer will be able to see it.
I'll see it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is really cool.
Now some of the kinks are still getting worked out here.
Yeah. But this is really cool. And this is just kind of showing you what AI...
Hello, everyone, and welcome to
what it
Henry's
can do.
Kitchen.
Hi, are you able to make a recipe for us?
If you tell me what ingredients you have, I can generate a recipe you can make.
Well, at the moment I have eggs and olives.
Okay, it sounds like the ingredients you have are eggs and olives. Is that correct?
It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Great. With those ingredients, one recipe you can make is eggs with a side of olives. Do you want me to
Who
teach
would've
you to
known
make
that?
that now?
No, I already know how to make that.
Okay. Hey.
Did it just swear?
Something weird happens.
What?
Okay. So again,
So-
that's
Yeah.
still in the beta testing phase. But as things move on,
You look buff there. Do you use like a filter?
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
yeah, that's
to Henry's
AI.
Kitchen.
It'd be interesting
it's AI.
if you had
Yeah.
more than just eggs and olives for ingredients. Maybe they probably could come up with something cool.
Yeah, maybe
next time
before
just
you
get a little more.
Because you put all the work into the AI. Just go to
yeah,
the
but I don't
grocery store.
think. Yeah, I mean, you could add. But that's all I ever have. I never really have more than 2 ingredients in my refrigerator.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you have Worcestershire sauce and then or soy sauce, which they're basically
Yeah.
the same
yeah,
thing.
if you
right?
don't have one, you can always use the other.
I tried it another time where it was eggs and tomato, and it said I could make a tomato omelet.
Oh yeah.
So it's
the
smart.
AI said
it's,
that.
Yeah.
it's very smart. Like
Yeah.
it thinks faster than any human could ever.
Yeah. And is that the only AI that you have so far?
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I'm working on it. I want to make the AI pop a little more. He seems a little
Well, it's new.
unconfident.
It's a new technology.
Yeah.
So
It's only going to get better and better, and that's why we got to come up with. Like I already replaced my own job with that.
oh yeah, that's
when
true.
you think
Oh,
about
shit.
it.
Yeah,
Oh shit.
he can just make videos too, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess as long as it's on my channel, I could just like sit on the couch and watch TV while I have the AI do the.
Oh, and then it's just generating income while you're just sitting on your ass.
Yeah. I think that's all any of us want.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Nobody wants to do
Everybody,
anything.
literally everybody, almost every friend of mine from high school who's my age
Is retired.
is trying so hard not to work in their
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just like, no, I'm doing crypto or I'm trying to get
yeah.
NFTs or whatever. They're trying
Yeah.
to come up with anything, and it's got to be a sign that things aren't going well. Like nobody wants to do anything.
Yeah. I don't,
Well, multi-level marketing scams, like that was the original one, but it's
They're
just
still
like,
around. They're still around.
people are
like-
still getting sucked into that
Yeah.
stuff. It's just repackaged.
yeah,
like
exactly.
We have a friend who, I know somebody whose wife was like
Yeah.
what is it?
CBD
CBD
stuff.
oil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That was the new one.
for your pets or something.
for
too.
everyone, but it was like, yeah, she was involved in like a multi-level marketing.
And but then it's like, do you not realize that that's what you're doing? Like a friend of mine who's like very Christian posted a thing about her friend who's also very Christian is like selling these clothes or something, and then I go and look at the website and I'm like, yeah, it's just you have to pay $5,000 to get some clothes.
But then
to
you
buy
And then you
them,
have to
and then you
sell
get
it.
to sell them. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm
we've
like-
already been through this in the comedy business or in the
it's
pay
like,
to play.
But like, don't you realize that that's what it is? Like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised that they're still around.
well,
and
they're
people still kind of
it's
fall
because
for
they
it.
have people that. Well, for one thing, and this is. I don't want
Desperation is-
to offend anybody, but
Funny if you
I
just
think
yelled the
that-
N-word.
no, and that doesn't even make sense. Yeah, no, I think that they target religious people because they
already have that
Well,
mindset.
they're good people and they're trusting people, you know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Well, they're gullible too.
it's another way. But no, but they don't really suspect like Brendan and I are already
Very
out the door. It's like,
suspicious.
fuck
Yeah.
you, dude. You're just
Yeah.
trying something that people tried on me when I was a teenager. Fuck it.
yeah.
But it's like, no, these people are like, no, this guy sounds on the up, and we can call Jim and Susie, and then they'll probably buy the clothes. And if we do that, then this could work out, and then they get to sell it to their friend. Like they think it's
Yeah.
all amazing. But it's all just BS. And also what you're trying to do is you're trying to amass a massive amount of money without working.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. They always start those things like, because I remember getting hit up by this guy back when I was in my late teens, and he goes, hey, Henry, it's Rob from high school. I was wondering if I could talk to you. And I go, yeah, sure, you can come over now. And he was like, now's not good. How about Tuesday? And I was like, yeah, sure, Tuesday. And then he's like, what time? And I go, I don't know, 3 p.m. He's like, 3 p.m.'s no good. How about 5 p.m.? And I'm like, yeah, that's great. So the guy shows up to my place, and he's in a Domino's truck, and he gets out, but he comes out in a suit, and he talks to me, and he goes, Henry, what what do you see yourself doing 5, 10 years down the line? I was like, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. And he goes, well, what if I told you that you could be driving a Lamborghini, you know? And I was just like, yeah. And then he's like, well, what kind of, you know, and he starts doing all this BS.
Yeah.
And then I was just really bad at saying no. So I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you know, I guess I'll go along with you for a little bit. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to show you a couple of the pointers. Number one, when you call your friend, make sure that whatever time they give you, even if you're available, tell them that doesn't work, and then you do it an hour later, because that's going to make it look like you're busy. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. And he goes, also, give me your Rolodex. Back then, it would be like your phone nowadays. But I'm like, nah, I don't want to give. No, give me your address book or whatever. And it's like, yeah, like who's this guy? Like, let's call this guy right now. I'm like, no, get the fuck away. You're not going to call my friends and ask. But it turned out to be Amway.
Oh, yeah.
But the guy said it was, he never said Amway. He said it's a company called Dexter Yeager. And what I found out later is Amway changed their name
because it was
they
a punchline.
suck so bad. But it's like, that's never a good sign. It's like, we need to change our name because we suck so bad. Like in Glendale, where I live, there's a Scientology place.
Right.
And but it doesn't say Scientology on the front. It says like the Enlightened Spot or something like that. But I'm like, just already know that if you can't say what your real name is, you're just an asshole.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
nobody wants you around.
Yeah.
Like leave people alone.
If your main marketing plan is tricking people, that's like, you know, that's not a. And I say that too. You know, I've been trying to like figure out a way to. Well, I don't know, like write a bit about it because it drives me crazy. Like when you're on a website or whatever, right? And you're like reading an article and then there'll be like ads, but there's a big button that says, click here for the next page, but it's just an ad.
Yeah.
And you click and it goes to some, you're like, oh, God damn it, they tricked me.
Yeah.
But it's like, who does that and goes, man, they tricked me, but I guess I'm going to read it. And maybe I'll buy the product.
Work?
It's probably a good product if they're smart enough to make their ad look like it's a way to get to the next page of the article. And also the companies
just pisses you off.
Yeah.
Like the magazine or whatever, whoever's putting the article out, like if they see that, shouldn't they be like, no, get the fuck out of here. You're ruining our magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
people are going to get in. Well,
like you can put your ad in there, but don't trick people into like, you know, if they're not going to fucking click on it, then forget about it. Like, you have a better product.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Like I'll go on the AV Club. Sometimes I'll read reviews on the AV Club, and I'm reading it and I'm scrolling and there's like like when I click on the article, there's a video for something else that's playing. Okay, so then I scroll and then like the video like moves down with me as I'm scrolling. It's like, just go, and then I just close it out because I'm like, I just want to read this thing. Can you stop like bombarding me with all this? It's like I can't fucking read
I mean,
it.
that's it's like, okay, the AV Club needs the income, but it's like, well, do you see that it's making your product useless now? Like,
you can't even read.
That's my favorite one is like when you click on something, right? It's like, oh, that's an interest. It's like, oh, it's, you know, whatever, an interesting article. Like, oh, this is something I want to read. And you get there and then there's just a thing covering the whole article and you can't figure that there's no clear way on how to make it close. And you're just like, well, never mind. Fuck you then. I'm not going to I don't give a shit about, you know, this new AIDS or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care about this lady giving all the guys AIDS and writing lipstick on their mirrors. Fucking, I'll hear about it somewhere else.
That's almost like every battle between like consumers and businesses because they're like telemarketers.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, no, we're going to make a rule that you have to say, you know, who you are right in the beginning. Let's say, for an example.
Hey, stop banging.
And then the business is like, well, you just ruined all our business then. Well,
Yeah.
Because, well, if we say who we are, they're going to hang up right away. It's like, well, that should tell you something.
Well, then maybe don't do that anymore and figure out a different. Yeah.
I mean, that's everybody's like, you know, like freedom, and maybe I should get this queued up here.
Everybody's like freedom.
Well, like it's like, you know, you want freedom. It's like, oh, freedom of speech and stuff, but it's like there should be like a death penalty for people who are like just making. It's like, oh, my job is like gumming up the works on the internet. Like when people try to do something,
I'm gonna make it
I slide
so
a thing in there that makes it impossible for them to do it. And then like also it can lead to this wormhole that steals all their money. And it's like, oh, well, fuck you. You should go get your head cut off.
I used to do a bit about something similar where I remember that when I was calling Sprint, I don't even know is Sprint still around, but
Yeah, I think
they did some pretty egregious stuff. But when you called them on their website, it had a little disclaimer that says if you use profanity or vulgar language to any of our employees, we have the right to terminate your service or something like that. And I'm just like, if that happens that often that you have to have a disclaimer, it's like, that's not every place. Like if you go to the mall, you're not going to go to like Mrs. Fields Cookies and it's not
You're,
going to say like,
people, like,
if you call Shannon a cunt, we're not, because it's just like, why would you ever do that? She's just selling you cookies.
Look at your own business.
Yeah, they're like, look, it's a problem. People are calling us all kinds of horrible things. Our employees are distressed because of being called names all day. You can't do that anymore. It's like, no, you got to ask yourself why that's such a problem
Why is
at your
everybody
company.
cussing at you? Yeah.
Like you're just making people livid.
Speaking of making people livid, should we try? I think I might have found the music studio.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, what do we say though?
We could say that we'd have a singer here.
But then you think he maybe just will hang up right away, or you
Maybe.
think he'll be annoyed again? Like, should we say something else? That's not a recording studio. What were we gonna do? We were gonna call about something.
Ted Danson was going to play his didgeridoo in there.
I know, but then we had an idea to call him back for something else. I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember. Was it when Brent was here?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but we could just call him.
Yeah, just call him.
Do you mind like singing a little bit during this call?
Sure. Yeah. Just let me know what to sing.
How about some Bon Jovi? Like, whoa, we're halfway
Okay.
there.
Should I
You
do
could
it
sing
funny?
it real angelic or whatever. Or yeah, what I mean, I think sing it good. You know.
Okay, I'll
Or
try.
like-
My voice is really in the shitter.
Yeah, that's
in
fine.
The last
Just-
5 years.
Well, you sang something earlier. It sounded great.
Oh.
This might not even be the right.
Suicide is painless. Just sing.
Oh, yeah.
You could sing that.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll do that.
We have the grandson of the guy who sang. Let me see. I'll find out who sang the song first. To sound
We
a little-
called this
I
guy
think it was
before.
Robert Altman's kid, right?
What band sings that song, or is it just?
I think
that
it was
guy?
Robert Altman's son who wrote the song
Oh, for the movie,
for the movie MASH. Yeah, it was written for the movie.
dude. You
What?
Google "suicide is painless" and it's all these just
All these-
suicide hotlines comes up.
Don't do it, man.
Johnny Mandel. So I mean,
So
maybe
I couldn't have been more wrong. Yeah, Johnny Mandel is famous. No, I think Robert Altman's kid wrote the lyrics. Johnny Mandel wrote the music.
Michael B. Altman. You're right. Songwriters
Yeah,
Johnny
I knew
Mandel,
there was
Michael B.
something.
Altman.
And then I think Weird Al did. No, I'm just kidding.
Did one "Suicide is Painful"?
He doesn't go after songs like that. Yeah.
That's funny. Like just doing a Weird Al ripoff, but just do like awful.
Just a really
Covered.
super sad one.
Yeah, but yeah, just taking like, what's that? We had joy, we had fun,
Yeah,
we had
yeah.
seasons. It's just like these really sad. Like if you read the lyrics, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's about your friend dying or whatever, and it's out like, whoops.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to call this guy, and I'll say this is the grandson of Johnny Mandel.
Okay.
And he wants to do for the 50th anniversary of MASH. All right. We'll see. This might not even be the right guy. It'd be great if it is.
I hope so.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is
Oh,
I haven't gotten that in a long time.
I
That
know.
sounds so old
Yeah,
school.
it is. Oh, well.
I guess why would you? Because
Yeah, I guess you're not calling places like, random music stores that got mad at you.
yeah.
Don't you have like a call log or something?
Me?
You could just go back and look. I guess that was
I mean,
like
it
a
was
month
so long ago.
Yeah.
A month ago. It was like
A couple months ago?
6 months ago.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, I could do some sleuthing. Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
We called this guy before, Henry, and he got really, really wound up because we kept saying that we could record music there, and he's like, "No, that's not what we do here." But he just got really mad.
What did they
this
do
is not
there?
a studio.
We never
wouldn't
got to the
say. We're
bottom
like,
of
"Well,
it.
what is it?" He's like, "Well, we're just
Porn.
something
Yeah.
weird." We're like, "What is going on?" But it was really funny.
Did you ever talk about Apollo Jones? I always thought that was a great
Oh, I might have talked about that.
telemarketer.
No.
Because I had a similar one where I was calling like American Express or something, and I'm obviously talking to like India or something, and the guy's like, and what is your name? And I said, it's Henry Phillips. Oh, your name is the same one that I have. And I'm like, what? Like, the way he said it was weird, but what he was saying is, oh, that's my name too.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just phrased weird, and I'm like, really? Henry Phillips? Okay, whatever. But it could be because there's a lot of English names in India, but I don't know. It just sounded like bullshit, like something that he says to get you on your side.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
We have the same name.
Yeah, it wasn't American Express. It was a sales thing.
You know what? I did find that is the number. The guy disconnected the number.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it you guys?
I guess.
Who knows what was going on there either?
June 11th, is that when we had the...
No, it was before then, wasn't
Maybe
it?
he has an
maybe,
answering
I don't
machine
know.
that just does that. Dude.
Well, I called that place on June 11th.
Oh. I don't know. It's all right. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We can think of something else to talk about.
Well, yeah, no, I had a guy call me, and it was for like, it was legitimate. When I moved out here, I defaulted on a credit card, and which also was like pretty stupid on their part, because I just had one of those credit cards for like 10 years that I would just use. Like, I didn't use it all the time, but like I'd have like a lean month and be like, well, I'm using a credit card to buy groceries or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I need my money to pay rent. And it like over the course of, 10 years, it built up to not even that much, but like $20,000 or something, and the minimum payments were, I don't know, $400 or $500 a month at that point. And I was moving out to LA, and I called them. I was, I kept up to date on everything. And I called them and was like, hey, I'm moving and I'm not going to be like working as much. And so can you close the credit card? I won't use it anymore. And can we just go on some kind of like payment plan that like, I'll give you like $250 a month for whatever.
Yeah.
And they were just like, no, we don't do that. And I was like, well, can you work with me? And they're like, well, no, we don't really even, do anything like that unless people have already defaulted on the card. And I'm like, well, that's what I'm trying to avoid. So
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, we just don't do that, and I'm like, so you're telling me just default then? He's like, no, I'm not telling you to do that. And I'm like, okay, well, can we figure a way out? Do you figure some way out? Yeah, just keep making the payments. And I'm like, well, I'm telling you I can't.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know what, eat shit, and hung up.
Yeah.
And was just like, all right, I guess I'm just not paying it. And then, of course, I have people calling me. I was like, yeah, I'm not paying it. So,
Yeah.
and then it goes to a collection agency. And that's if you're young enough out there too, rack up some credit card. They probably changed the laws now. I bet
Don't
at this
rack up.
point.
Don't get any credit card debt if you're young. Why
Well,
would
don't
you
get.
do
But I'm
that?
saying, like, I didn't pay a dime on that, and it's
Yeah.
like, here we are
But doesn't it fuck your credit up? Isn't that the
for a
thing?
few years. But I wasn't like trying to buy
Yeah.
a house.
They
or
also factor that in. They know that a certain percentage are going to default,
Yeah.
and that's why they charge so much interest, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I used to do that job, the collecting job, which is hilarious because I had never even had a credit card. It was like I was like 19 or something. I was working at Bank of America, and I'd call these people. And they're like, 50-year-old people that have had huge problems, financially. It was like it was during the recession and everything. And I was just like, well, sir, you bought the stuff. And they're like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
But what was funny is there was all these buzz terms that the Bank of America supervisor used to always be like, because I'd be like, what if they just don't pay? What if they just don't pay ever? And then the guy's like, well, then it's a charge off. Okay. All right, well, I'll tell them that. So then I get on there, and the guy's like, well, what happens if I don't pay? And I go, well, sir, you don't want to do that. Why not? Well, then it's going to be a charge-off. And he's like, what is that? I'm like, well, that's when you don't pay, and then they just charge it off. And then he's like, all right, well, just charge it off.
I'll do that.
This guy
Well,
just
that
wants to
sounds good.
charge
I'll
it
do
off.
that then.
Yeah, I'll just be a charge-off.
Yeah.
For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/worldrecordpodcast.
World record!
For the full uncut episode, head to patreon.com/worldrecordpodcast.
World record.
Patreon.com/worldrecordpodcast.